First off, two good teams they faced over the weekend. But after that match on Friday, do you think it took a lot out of your guys? For Sundays, so much soccer.
We've said it 100 times, but every game in our conference is a battle, and especially against a regional rival like Chico, it was always going to be a tough game, physical game, demanding game. Our boys played really well. I felt like coming off the field on Friday, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they gave everything they had from start to finish, and going into extra time, felt like we had a good chance. Got a little bit unlucky, but it's hard to fault the boys. They did everything they could.
Before we talk about this weekend, with the overall record, the conference record that you guys are looking at, if you just started the season and then kind of fast forward to now, what would be your thoughts? Been, hey, it's what I expected, or
I don't know that we came into the season with any really expectations. I mean, we have been talking all year about being humble and just coming out and doing the things that we can do and controlling the parts of the game that we can control, working hard, competing together, fighting as a team. And to be honest, I think we've done that every game. This weekend's results are frustrating, but it's not like we're sitting back saying, there's a bunch of shoulda, woulda, couldas this weekend. I mean, we played basically the same way we played all year. We just didn't get the results. It's unfortunate, but when you play tough teams every week, sometimes they get you. And this weekend is a good example of that. We could have started better on Sunday morning, or on Sunday afternoon against Stanislaus in the first half. We were a little sluggish, and maybe that was a hangover from the overtime game on Friday. But the second half, the boys came out and gave everything they could. They got back into the game after being down, and I think you can see their spirit. You can see their camaraderie and the way they fight together every game. And coming off the field, we would have liked to have got a win, but I couldn't be more proud of the effort they put in this weekend.
Looking at this season, you guys aren't used to losing back-to-back games. How do you feel like your team will respond this week after having back-to-back losses?
That'll be a big test for us this weekend. We'll see how they do. I mean, it's not getting easier. I mean, we play Pomona. I think Pomona's like third in the conference right now. They've lost 2 games or something like that this year. Pomona's been one of the toughest teams in our conference the last 2 or 3 seasons. They were in the Final Four 2 years ago. Friday will be a big test for us against a very strong opponent. But this weekend will be a good chance to see how resilient we are. We played well at the beginning of the year. We got off to that 6-1 record. Had a couple of tough games this weekend. So it'll be a good chance to see just how good we are at bouncing back.
You said that Pomona, a very good team, good record. What have you seen that makes them so good?
Oh, they got quite a lot of talented players. They play a good style. I mean, they're a good, strong team. They play a style similar to Sonoma and what we aspire to play, which is they move the ball pretty well. They play a good, organized, possession, attacking soccer game, and they combine that with a lot of talented players, and they go a long way.
Are you guys right now, obviously taking it game by game, but is there any thought about, hey, we keep this up, we can go further past the regular season?
In the back of all of our minds, there's always that hope, and that's what we're shooting for. But if we get ahead of ourselves and we start to think, beyond what's in front of our nose at this moment, then maybe we lose sight of, what's important to us. And what's important to us is to be who we are, to know who we are, to compete as the team who we are, and not get ahead of ourselves and get these ideas of grandeur that all of a sudden, we should be winning the conference or something like that. That historically speaking hasn't been the case. So, for us, we're talking about baby steps, trying to keep this moving forward, keep ourselves moving forward. No more of this, 2 steps forward, 1 steps back. Let's try to keep moving forward, grind it out, and then at the end of the year, we can look back and see what we accomplished. And if that gets us into the conference tournament, if that gets us into a position where we can look into the postseason, then great. But unless we can figure out how to grind it together as a group and keep our composure, keep our humble spirit, and fight every day, then we're going to lose sight of what's important to us.
All right. Anything else like that?
No, I'm looking forward to this weekend, get back on the road. Some tough competition, but I'm anticipating some great fight from our guys this weekend. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a couple of good results.
All right, thanks.